you ever wondered which devil fruits are the most sought after in the world of One Piece? Some of them are capable of bringing the entire world upside down. Others have insane special abilities while not being the strongest ones in terms of combat, while others are, well, simply broken to possess. These are the 20 most wanted devil fruits in the world of One Piece. Before we begin, just a small note. This video will not present the strongest devil fruits, but rather the most wanted ones, meaning a weaker overall devil fruit might be placed higher than a stronger one, simply because, well, it was wanted more for a given reason. Also, in reality, we only rank 15 devil fruits while also mentioning 5 devil fruits as honorable mentions. And why do we put those in their own category? You'll see in a little bit. Number 15, the Suke no Mi, also known as the Clear fruit. So far, this fruit was eaten by 2 known users, Absalom and Shiryu. And what does it do? It's a paramucia type devil fruit that has a primary ability to make the user invisible, but the user can also selectively turn anything they're in contact with invisible as well. Because of this ability, the user can spy on conversations and people without being detected, as well as abduct people with no chance of being tracked. This also allows them to carry hidden weapons to attack with, such as hand-strapped bazookas, even an entire ship, though a small one has been made invisible in order to make a concealed getaway. Now, as far as why this devil fruit is among the most wanted ones, well, it's quite useful in battle, no doubt, but most of the people actively after this fruit are, well, perverts. You get where I'm going with this? Similar to Sanji, they want this devil fruit so they can spy on women without being detected. Sanji even stated that at some point, acquiring this devil fruit was his lifelong dream. And like Sanji, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more perverts like that in One Piece. The real question here is, would you want to eat this fruit or not? And yet the next fruit had an entire tournament set up just to decide who would get it. And this is none other than the Mira no Mi, also known as Flame fruit in English. So far, it was eaten by both Ace and, after his death, by Sabo. Its power is as follows. The fruit's major strength, like other Logia types, is that it allows the user to produce, as well as become, the element they control. In this case, the user's able to create, control, and become fire. With this in mind, the user can create devastating fire-based attacks and gain a high resistance towards most heat-based attacks. The flames can also be used to increase the force of physical attacks. By turning it to fire, the user is capable of letting enemy attacks harmlessly pass through their fiery body or move around quickly in a stream of flames. Igniting oneself similarly has the added effect of burning an opponent if they had tried to physically harm the user. Now, when it comes to why this devil fruit was wanted, well, it had literally hundreds of combatants fighting in the Colosseum for a chance to claim this fruit for themselves. Number 13, the Mane no Mi, also known as the clone fruit in English. This fruit was consumed by both Kurozumi Higurashi and Benthen. The fruit allows the user to impersonate someone they touch with their right hand, adopting their face, physique, and voice. The fruit keeps a perfect recollection of every person whose form they've ever copied, so the user will not forget any person's appearance whom they imitate. There's no time limit for the transformation, and the user can revert back to their own body by touching their face with their left hand, even if unintentionally. And the reason this devil fruit's considered so wanted? Well, 2 reasons. One serious and one not so much. The unserious reason is, again, perverts like Sanji that could snatch the bodies of girls they liked. But the actual and most serious reason is, of course, the immense potential for deception and creating confusion. By copying the appearance of an important individual, such as royalty, the user can use their position and authority as if it was their own. The user can likewise ruin a person's reputation by framing them for crimes they didn't commit, by appearing as them and confessing it was their doing. In both these cases, the user needs to make sure the real person is hidden away first, so no one realizes the truth. The user can also make someone lower their guard by copying someone important to them, such as a friend or family member. Overall, while the fruit lacks much offense purposes, it can potentially topple countries given time and proper planning, as both 2 known users have used this ability in the exact same way. Number 12, the Kira no Mi, also known as Twinkle fruit in English. And yeah, in English, I suppose this name sounds kind of zesty, especially when you consider it's actually one of the strongest fruits in One Piece. It was eaten by Diamond Jozu, and as his nickname suggests, well, it allowed him to turn into diamond. More specifically, the fruit allows the user to turn parts of their body into diamond, granting them exceptional toughness, which, as we've covered in past videos on the channel, well, One Piece fans wanted to know whether this fruit had any, limitations on the body parts this hardness applies to. So they went ahead and asked this in an SBS for Oda to answer. Naturally, Oda, being the troll that he is, answered that, yeah, this applies in that case too. But back to the fruit's actual abilities. As diamond is one of the hardest substances in the world, the user's defenses seem to enhance exponentially. Not even Dracul Mihawk, the world's strongest swordsman, known for his unparalleled swordsmanship and his renowned strongest slash in the world, could penetrate Josu's body during Marineford, even if their clash was short. One noticeable drawback is the user is unable to move parts of his body that have been transformed into diamond. Therefore, Josu cannot harden his entire body, or he'll be rendered completely unable to move. As to why someone would want this devil fruit, well, it's the ultimate defense if you ask me, as you turn your body into the hardest substance possible. Number 11, the Tori Tori no Mi Model Phoenix, also known as the Bird Fruit Model Phoenix, eaten by Marco. This fruit is one of the most broken ones in the world of One Piece. This mythical Zoan fruit grants the power to transform into a large phoenix shrouded in blue flames, as well as a human phoenix hybrid. As with all Zoans, the ability user's transformation significantly bolsters all their physical abilities, granting strength great enough to hold back two powerful ancient Zoan users at once, at least in Marco's case that is. As a bird Zoan, the user is also given the ability to fly at high speed. Most significantly, the user can create flames referred to as blue flames of resurrection instead of burning. The phoenix flames have immense healing properties. When cloaked in them, the user can rapidly regenerate from all injuries inflicted onto them, lethal included, much like how a phoenix is said to rise from its own ashes. Thus, the user is enormously resilient, able to undergo extreme punishment without feeling pain or being slowed down. On top of self-healing, the phoenix flames may be applied to mend other living targets. However, the healing is less effective on anyone other than the user themselves, so the flames have a smaller and slower effect. Moreover, while the flames are not as inherently destructive as natural fire, they do not completely lack potential for offensive use, as Marco has shown the ability to perform attacks using his flames that, rather than burn, hit with blunt force. So why is this fruit so sought after? For one, it's a mythical Zoan, aka one of the rarest types. Second, it allows flight, something a bit unique in One Piece. And third, and most importantly, it allows for regeneration, something very unique in One Piece, where the only ones displaying such abilities so far are the God's Knights. Number 10, the Hiei Hiei no Mi, also known as the Ice fruit in English, eaten by Aokiji. This Logia devil fruit is worthy of an admiral status. As a Logia, the fruit allows its user to transform into the element of ice, as well as create and control it on a potentially massive scale, especially to freeze their surroundings. Particularly potent even by Logia standards, with this power running for a 10-day battle, it was strong enough to permanently warp the very climate of one half of an island into a frozen, uninhabitable wasteland. The user can instantly freeze anything that comes into contact with them, whether the user grabs onto the foe or the foe makes contact with the user's body. If the frozen area is not treated properly and immediately, then the resultant frostbitten areas will suffer permanent tissue damage. Most of this devil fruit's attacks require Kuzan to be in physical contact with his enemy directly to freeze them. Yet Kuzan has found ways to extend his combat range, such as creating ice spears or ice tridents. Naturally, this element, along with the fact that it's a Logia type, was naturally one of the strongest devil fruits, one of the most wanted ones, and naturally was given to an admiral. Number 9, the Pika Pika no Mi, also known as Light fruit in English, eaten by Borsalino. This Logia devil fruit is among the strongest in One Piece. Like with all other users of Logia devil fruits, the user of this fruit is able to control, create, and transform into an element. In this case, Borsalino is able to control, create, and transform into the element of light. As such, the user is able to utilize light-based attacks, including shooting laser beams from their hands, fingers, feet, or even eyes, which are also capable of causing massive explosions. The user is able to transform and move at such speed that their movements are invisible to the naked eye. Also, one of the most notable abilities displayed is the ability to create clones, as demonstrated during Borsalino's fight against Luffy. So yeah, overall, this fruit is a Logia, which is considered the strongest type, allows for movement with the speed of light, has catastrophic impacts when used offensively, and even more than that, allows the user to clone themselves. Number 8, the Magu no Mi, also known as Magma fruit in English, eaten by Akainu. Here, I'll go ahead and repeat a theory about this fruit that I actually mentioned in past videos. Akainu's devil fruit might not just be the Magu no Mi, as we thought about until now, but rather, Akainu might have eaten a mythical Zoan fruit instead. Check this. Both of the two previous fleet admirals are theorized to have eaten mythical Zoans. Sengoku is confirmed to have eaten Hito no Mi model Daibutsu, while Kong is heavily theorized, and in my opinion correctly, to have eaten the Hito no Mi model Wukong. Both of these devil fruits are mythical Zoans, and of the Hito no Mi variety too, so it might, after all, be a pattern that Oda chooses to use for the position of the fleet admiral. But which is Akainu's devil fruit then? Hito no Mi model Pele. You see, Pele is the goddess of volcanoes and fire, and the creator of the Hawaiian Islands. She's a well-known deity within Hawaiian mythology, and is notable for her contemporary presence and cultural influence as an enduring figure from ancient Hawaii. So why am I led to this deity? Well, because Akainu features this very characteristic shirt with the trademark Hawaiian flower on it. Not only that, but Akainu also has this very Hawaii-like tattoo on his left shoulder as well. And yet that's not all. Remember Akainu's fight against Kizaru? Well, if you check this scene, then you can clearly see that Akainu's sides feature volcanoes as well, and not just magma. As far as we know, creating volcanoes is not within the Magu no Mi's abilities, unless, not base abilities that is. For we still don't know what the potential awakening of this fruit might look like, unless magma's just a byproduct of the bigger picture and the more general ability of Akainu's devil fruit. I strongly believe that Akainu's devil fruit will in time be revealed as the Hito no Mi model Pele, similar to how Luffy's devil fruit was revealed to be a Hito no Mi model Nika later on in the story, and not just the Gomu no Mi we thought up until that point, meaning that overall, if the world government knew about this fruit's potential, they definitely did not give it to Akainu by accident. Number 7, the Niku no Mi, also known as the Paw fruit in English, eaten by Kuma, and based on my theory by Nefertari D. Lily as well, this devil fruit has some unique traits that can be seen as very wanted by the world government. You see, the devil fruit bestows the ability to send all things flying via invulnerable 5-digit paw pads on the user's palms. Anything that touches or is touched by the paws can be pushed away at will. Almost anything can be affected by this ability and sent flying regardless of makeup. Tangible materials like objects and people, gases like air, completely immaterial targets like ghosts, and abstract targets such as pain, fatigue, illness, or even memories. In combat, the Niku no Mi's ability makes for a powerful defense, allowing the user to deflect any and all attacks so long as they move their hands in the way fast enough, their paws working like impenetrable shields. In this context, the paws take no damage from and thus can withstand any attack, repelling fire without being burned or blades without being cut, for instance. Aside from defense, the user's able to harness their ability for offensive maneuvers, such as repelling the very atmosphere around them at light speed to create paw-shaped shockwaves that can pierce almost anything. One misconception about the powers of the Niku no Mi is that it allows the user to warp themselves, which is actually incorrect. Rather than teleport, Kuma uses his paws to propel himself over certain distances and to choose destinations at such immense speed that to an observer, it merely appears as if he vanished into thin air. Now, why was this devil fruit so wanted? Well, recently we found out this. The Niku no Mi was a prize at the native hunting competition on God Valley, an event orchestrated by the Celestial Dragons that the Gorosei later covered up. The devil fruit was originally intended as a grand prize for the winners of this cruel game. Now, in regards to the popular theory I mentioned about Lily, well, this theory suggests that this devil fruit was used in order to scatter the road poneglyphs, with its user possibly being Nefertari D. Lily. Number 6, the Toshi no Mi, or also known as the Age fruit in English, eaten by Bonnie. Let's just say the world government was actively after her for no reason. The fruit allows the user to modify the age of anything it touches, and this applies to humans as well. Now, even though the effects seem to be temporary, who knows what happens once this fruit is awakened? Maybe the effects in that case become permanent. In that way, this fruit grants eternal youth to both the user and the ones the user applies their powers on. Now, because it's not 100% confirmed why the world government was after Bonnie, after all, it may have been because of her connection to Kuma, we're not going to be placing this fruit any higher. But now, before we get into the top 5, we have some honorable mentions. First and foremost, a theory. The Hito no Mi model Sun Wukong. All I'll say about this devil fruit is that Sun Wukong is a huge legend in Chinese and generally Eastern mythology. Goku was based on him, and a whole lot of other myths, folklore, characters, and games throughout the world. So I do think that if and when this devil fruit is revealed, it will indeed be among the most wanted ones. Plus, I do really think it was already consumed by Kong, as explained previously. Now, the other set of honorable mentions here will be the 3 out of the 4 god fruits: Forest God, Rain God, Earth God. Not a lot is known about these, but as far as ability-wise, being god fruits and all, they will definitely be among the strongest fruits in One Piece. Not certain they even exist, to be honest, but it's heavily implied and theorized that they do exist and will eventually be revealed in One Piece. So yeah, with no shade of doubt, these fruits will be among the most wanted ones in One Piece when that happens. Honorable mention number 3, the Zushi no Mi, also known as Press fruit. Eaten by Fujitora, this devil fruit is indeed quite broken in the right hands. Whoever eats from this fruit is granted the power to create gravitational forces of extreme potency. The ability user is able to move about living things and objects with little effort, ranging from debris to send flying against an enemy in smaller or massive numbers to a massive battleship. The range of the generatable gravity field appears to be massive, as it can pull down meteors from the highest of skies, possibly the outer atmosphere, or even space itself. Able to have their gravity go in any direction, even horizontal, as demonstrated by Fujitora, the user can move about matter with precision, effectively granting a form of telekinesis. As to why this devil fruit is not among the full list wanted now, well, it doesn't seem to get the recognition it deserves, despite being among the most powerful devil fruits out there. And for the last honorable mention, the Hana Hana no Mi, or also known as the flower fruit in English. This devil fruit was consumed by Nika Robin, and the reason we place it as an honorable mention is the following. Despite not being really wanted in One Piece, well, it should have been, because it's actually among the most broken ones out there. We actually made a video about this in the past, where we explained the best devil fruit combinations out there, and well, half the video was made around the Hana Hana no Mi. That's how broken it is, and that's how stupid Blackbeard is for not actually eating it. He could literally end One Piece 500 episodes ago. So, what are its abilities? The fruit's major strength is the ability to sprout multiple body parts on almost any surface, including the user's own body or even opponents, and then manipulate said body parts remotely. After the time skip, Robin's duplication ability has grown to the point of being able to sprout up to 1,000 body parts at once, melding them into gigantic limbs. She's also developed the ability to create a full-body clone of herself. Now, back to our actual list, and at number 5, the Uo Uo no Mi model Siryu. This fruit was consumed by Kaido, and is also duplicated by Vegapunk, and then eaten by Momonosuke. As a mythical Zoan, regarded by some as the strongest devil fruit type, the giant dragon transformation comes with a massive boost to the user's physical abilities, far greater than what's seen with other Zoan types. Apart from raw strength, the user's size as a dragon belies their mobility, as they can move about at great speeds while keeping pace with significantly fast, human-sized foes. The scales covering the user's dragon body are noted to be extraordinarily durable. Blows of incredible power, including ones strengthened by regular armament hockey, have proven utterly ineffective at hurting Kaido. Beside the transformation itself, the fruit bestows multiple supernatural abilities, the most out of any mythical Zoan seen so far. The most prominent of these is the power to conjure flame clouds, with which the user can travel through the air by using them as footholds, effectively enabling flight. In addition, the user can create and control fire, such as a concentrated scorching blast of fire that the user breathes out, which is powerful enough to burn entire armies to death. Now, how is this devil fruit wanted? Well, it's the most rare type, aka a mythical Zoan, and is also among the strongest ones. Plus, considering that Vegapunk went to the trouble of cloning it, yeah, I'd say this fruit was definitely among the most wanted ones. Number 4, the Gura Gura no Mi, also known as the Quake fruit in English. Originally eaten by Whitebeard and later on by Blackbeard, this fruit is considered the strongest paramecia for a reason. The major strength granted by this fruit to the user is its ability to generate massive vibrations or shockwaves, which basically translate as massive earthquakes when applied on the ground. Because of this, Fleet Admiral Sengoku has stated that Whitebeard holds the power to destroy the world, and Vice Admiral Suru stated that even if she retreated to the ends of the ocean, there'd be no safe place left in the world for her to go to when faced with the full power of the Gura Gura no Mi. And let me just say that, yeah, this fruit was wanted all right. Blackbeard went through an extensive plot just to get his hands on it, when he could choose among literally any fruits in the world. Number 3, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or also known as the Hito Hito no Mi, model Sun God Nika. Consumed by Luffy, this fruit was originally shown to us under the name the Gomu Gomu no Mi, aka a fruit giving the ability to stretch himself. However, during the Wano arc, when Luffy awakened his fruit, it turned out that this fruit was always the Hito Hito no Mi, model Sun God Nika. It's a mythical Zoan that can grant everything it touches very rubbery or elastic properties. It can also produce any elements like lightning, fire, and ice if the user wants to. It can even make the user to be bigger or smaller. I could go on and on about its abilities, but I think the best summary of the fruit is this. The devil fruit's powers are limited only by the user's imagination, and being a god fruit, I think you can understand why this fruit is placed that high in our list. But which fruit would be placed higher? The Yami Yami no Mi, also known as the Darkness fruit in English. Consumed by Blackbeard, this fruit is considered to be the strongest Logia for a few reasons. You see, the first and foremost strength, as demonstrated by Blackbeard, is that it allows the user to control darkness and its unique property of gravity. Due to this, the user can absorb physical matter and attacks of any type by sucking it into the darkness. The user can also use this ability to irresistibly pull the opponent to them, regardless of their current state. In addition to the previous abilities, this fruit somehow has one unique and frightening ability that separates it from all other devil fruits: the ability to absorb and completely nullify amplify the powers of other devil fruit users by simply touching them. And at number 1, the most wanted devil fruit in One Piece is, of course, the Ope Ope no Mi, eaten by law. This fruit has been sought after by every lowlife in One Piece, not so much for its destructive and offensive potential, but rather for another very special reason. You see, this fruit allows the user to perform the ageless surgery on someone. In exchange for their own life, the user can make someone else immortal. So yeah, as you can understand, Doflamingo, Blackbeard, and the entire world government desperately want to get a hold of this fruit by any means necessary. Click on this video next, where I'm breaking down all 8 future fights in One Piece that will break the internet. Go on, check it out!